I'm going to be reviewing my Gigabyte Aorus Master 185090 laptop. First, I want to start out with the build quality. When I got it, I thought it was metal, but I'm pretty sure after further review, it's plastic. Now, it's a very high quality plastic and it's very smooth, and it has almost no flex to it. The plastic feels a lot higher quality than that was on my previous laptop, which was a Acer Nitro 7 that had an i5 and a 1650 Ti. This build quality is a lot better. This laptop is powered by an Intel Core Ultra 9 275HX processor, and it has a 95 watt TDP. Not only that processor, it also has a Geforce RTX 5090, and that has 24 gigabytes of GDDR7 with 175 watt TDP. It's made with Max-Q technology, and it also features advanced optimus. This laptop has 270 watts of max TDP, and it has different fan levels you can set, as well as different power levels. For cooling, this laptop has 4 fans. It has a vapor chamber. It has icy touch design, where the keyboard is going to be relatively cool compared to everything else. And it also has 0 dB for low power scenarios. Now, while we are down here, I want to show the 4 speakers it has, which have a dual force design. So there's 2 on top of each other. That gives it less distortion and less vibration. This laptop has 64 gigabytes of DDR5, which is at 5600 megahertz. It's by 232 gigabyte sticks. And there's also 4 total sodimm slots, so you can upgrade it up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. This laptop comes with 2 terabytes of storage, and my model had 2 1 terabyte Gen 4 SSDs, which are in RAID 0, and it also supports another available PCI Gen 5. So there's a total of 3 SSD slots, and it supports up to 6 terabytes. I just wanted to make a quick note. I didn't know that my fan was on in my room, or more particularly, it was being picked up in the mic. So if before now you were hearing fan noise, it actually wasn't from the laptop. It was from the fan in my room. I have now turned it off. So anyways, I want to talk about the 18-inch mini LED screen. Go ahead and play this so you can get a little bit of idea. It has a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, 2560 by 1600, which is effectively 1440p, a 3mm bezel. It's 240 hertz, and it has a 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio. It has 1200 nits of peak brightness. It is Pantone validated for content creators. And it has a 100% DCI P3 color gamut. It offers Gysnc as well as Dolby Vision, which was a big thing I was looking for in a laptop. Now that we've talked about the screen, I want to finish talking about the speakers. Now, as I said before, there's two speakers down here in a dual force design, one on top of the other. So there's 4 speakers, but then there's also 2 tweeters that are hiding up here. It's probably a little hard to see them, but trust me, they're there. Now, those speakers have Dolby Atmos support, and they also have a dual channel smart amp. And needless to say, they sound pretty good. Here's a quick little test. I'll probably have a sound test coming up later. Alright, I imagine you got the idea, but it's a pretty good cinema experience. I've been watching Netflix with it, Cobra Kai in particular, and it looks better than my mini LED TV. And it also sounds pretty good. Now I want to talk about all the RGB that is on this laptop. One of the most unique things is they have this Aorus beacon on the back, which is essentially a projector, although I believe it can only display their logo, but it's still pretty cool. Then they also have an RGB Aorus logo, which has this cool little design, like a bunch of little circles. I think they said it was NIL or something. I'm not sure what that really is. So. And then before we do the keyboard, I want to talk about this little light bar they have on it. Now, when I saw it, I was thinking that's kind of gimmicky. I didn't think I'd really use it, which I'm not sure if I will, but it's definitely pretty cool. It gives like a little bit of underglow. So I mean, can't really complain about that. I think it's pretty cool. At nighttime it looks really cool, like a car with underglow. Now, lastly, I want to talk about the keyboard. This keyboard has 2 millimeters of total travel. And not only that, it has per key RGB LED backlighting. I've been liking it so far. I thought I'd add just this little bit in. I thought there was only a little bit of LED bar here, but I guess it spans pretty far. I didn't know it was this big. That's pretty cool, I guess. Thought I'd note that. Now I thought I'd just note a little bit about some of the connectivity that this laptop has. It has Wi-Fi 7, which has worked pretty well in my testing. Bluetooth 5.4. I'm not sure how much anybody cares about that. I just thought I'd note it. Bluetooth is just Bluetooth, I kind of thought. Anyway, it has 2.5 gigabits per second for this, I guess they call it an RJ45 port or something. I just know it as an Ethernet port. Anyways, so that's the connectivity. Alright, I guess this is the part where you guys see how I'm filming. I'm using my S23 Ultra, but I just wanted to talk about the webcam for a little bit. It has a 1080p IR webcam, full HD, which supports Windows Hello. As you can see, it looks a lot clearer than my previous one, but I mean, that laptop was a lot older. And then it also has the IR. Let's see if it'll pick it up. There it is. I believe it's the one all the way on the left. And I'll see if I can get that to show up for you. See if I can get this Windows Hello to work. It's kind of difficult with the camera. There we go. It works a lot better when you're not in the position I am, crouching down, holding the camera and stuff, but there you can see it worked. It's a lot more convenient. I've only had it not work a couple of times, but that was like in the dark or something, or when you're standing in a weird position. It's pretty nice. Next, I want to talk about the battery. It has a 99 watt hour battery, which is just about the biggest you can have, because I believe they can't be over 100 watt hours to be on an airplane. And then it has fast charge, which goes up to 50%, or I guess actually to 50% in 30 minutes. So that's pretty cool. And then as far as battery life and length, I've watched Cobra Kai on Netflix, which is Dolby Vision in 4K, and I've gotten about 3 hours, or just 3 hours, you know, pretty much, give or take, when I've been watching. And that's just on its default battery mode for when you're unplugged, and it's with the brightness all the way up, so if you lowered it you could get more, and the speakers were maxed out. So I'd like to say you could get 4 hours or more if you lowered that. I'd be kind of interested to test maybe in the future. And then I just wanted to know a little more about the battery. Of course you could lower the brightness and the speakers, but they also had a lot of different modes and stuff. It was imbalanced when it was unplugged. They have power saving and all that, so it probably could have been in there, but I'm just not one to, you know, mess with that, and I figure balance is pretty good, and I didn't really want more than 3 hours, you know, watching. I was just curious to test it out and see. But anyways, they have a 400 watt AC adapter that comes with this, and it was pretty big, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, that's just what it takes to power this, so I'm certainly okay with that. I was just kind of surprised how big it was, but never had this big of a laptop. My last one was a 1650 Ti, so this is a big step up. It's behind my dresser. I kind of had to, you know, put it in there and stuff. I don't want to get it out, but if you watch my unboxing video, you'll see how big it is. And then for the weight of this, it's 7.72 pounds, which is also a little bit heavier than my last laptop, an Acer Nitro 7. But I mean, this thing just feels like quality. And it has a 5090 in it. So, I mean, that's what I expected. But it is a little heavy, but it was fine sitting in my lap. I don't really mind it. Alright, so for one of my last little things on this laptop, I wanted to talk about the I/O it has. Now this laptop, it doesn't have any rear ports, which could be a thing for some people, but I kind of like them being on the side, and I'm pretty sure it helps with the cooling. But I guess maybe they could have had a little bit here, but oh, you get a cool projector, so it's okay. Now they have a DC in, which I don't really know why they wouldn't call it AC in, because it gets converted. Maybe that's why, but anyway, there's the power right here. This little port, it's very solid. And then they have their RJ45, which is that 2.5 gigabit per second Ethernet port. And then next to that, they have an HDMI 2.1. And then they have a Type A USB port. And then right next to it, they have a Type C, which I believe is a Thunderbolt, which one is it? Thunderbolt 5 port. And then let's go on over here. They have two more of those USB 3.2 Gen 2. And then they have this one, I believe, is a Type C Thunderbolt 4, so a little less. And then they have a full-size SD card port, which is kind of cool, but I'm not sure who uses that. Besides my grandpa, he was looking for a laptop that had one for his hunting cameras. And then next to that, they have their combo microphone and headphone port. And that's all the ports it has. So I was thinking about doing a software walkthrough of their included Gmate, which actually has a button here for the virtual assistant. It's that one right there. And you can basically tell it, hey, you know, I want a game or something, and it'll adjust the settings and stuff. I haven't really used that, but I have been using their little software here, which I showed a little bit of it earlier. But I think I'm going to make a full video just, you know, going through all the settings, because they have a little bit more than I wanted to get into this, and I already showed a little bit. So let me know if you're interested in that. So then I just wanted to talk about some of the problems I had. The biggest one I had is when I first got it. I made a video on it. The YouTube would only play at 720p, and it was usually autoing to like 360 or 480. And I couldn't figure it out. And then, like I said in the video, I finally found out it was a program they had installed. I had to delete it, and then it worked perfectly fine. So if you watch that video, you'll see exactly how to do that, and that's all good now. Now, the only other issue I had is going to be, it's kind of a big deal, but I'm not really too worried about it, because I believe it's something to do with the drivers, which should just end up getting fixed. But when I'm gaming, occasionally it'll have a black screen, which I believe is a problem with the 5090 GPUs. And then you'll just have to basically turn it off because it kind of gets stuck. And it only happens a couple of times. When I was doing like 3D Mark back to back to back, it would happen. But then last night when I had my 4K TV plugged in, if the computer turned off, it would just do it for some reason, like, I don't know how often, but about most of the time. But I think it's going to get fixed with the driver update, but we'll just have to see. I don't think it has anything to do with the hardware. But I'd definitely like to know if you guys have experienced that. I just wanted to do a quick little video showing a benchmark, just one in 3D Mark, and then I'm going to have a full video coming out that shows game performance and stuff like that, but I just wanted to throw something in for everybody. So all the settings are the highest. This is in game mode. The only thing that isn't the highest is the cooling. It's in performance, but you can put it into turbo. And then you can definitely hear the fans. It's pretty loud. But believe it or not, I believe that the audio can match that. But anyways, turbo's not needed. I tested it with turbo and then with the performance, and performance works just about the same, sometimes even more. So now it's in performance. The fans went all the way back down. And then if you actually look at the fan curve for it, you can see that it goes pretty much all the way up when it needs it. so it's more than enough. And then if you go and look at this AI power gear, you can see it's in performance mode, optimus, and max performance, which that's all maxed out. So now to run the test. Got Steam open, put that down. 3D Mark. I'm going to be running Steel Nomad. And then just let you hear the fans and then see this one performance test. So once it starts, I'm going to be quiet. Then I'll just show you some of the gaming and then some of the fans, and then we'll just see the score in the end. And this might not be the most ideal placement. It's kind of crammed, but I mean, hey, that's probably what other people might be doing too, but it'll be fine. Here the fans are revving up a little. I believe this is a 4K benchmark. Fans are still pretty quiet. And this one a little higher. A little bit higher again. Alright, so we're done. A little bit of the fan noise. It's definitely working. Alright, so we got 5,800. Average of 58. It says the average for my same hardware, just a little bit above, so that's good. Best of 6,000. So I think it did pretty good. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you want to see more. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the price of this laptop. Now, there's no really way of, sugarcoating it. It's a lot of money for a laptop. The exact price for this one was $4,399. Now, with that being said, it was one of the cheapest 18-inch 5090 laptops. The only laptops that were cheaper was they had Dream machines, which were a little bit less. I believe they started around 3,000 something. And then they had an HID Evolution, which was like 4,200 or something. And I hadn't really heard of them, or I hadn't heard of them at all before looking up the 5090 laptops. So I think it's priced good for what it is. Now, is it a lot of money? Certainly. But I'm just looking at this as an investment. I had my last laptop for 5 years, but I didn't really use it too much for gaming. Just in the beginning I did. So I'm hoping this one will last me at least 5 years, hopefully 10 years. So that's the main reason I went with the 5090, just to kind of future-proof it. And the main reason why I got one of these 50 series was for the multi-frame gen, since I primarily play single-player games. But I'd definitely like to hear your guys' thoughts, opinions, if you want to see any more of this. I will be doing more benchmarking, I know, Maybe more of a sound test. Just let me know what you guys want to see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.